Ever wonder how a 16-year-old's marriage to a 50-year-old actor could ignite a media storm? Today, we explore the whirlwind life of Courtney Stodden. Hi, I'm Leah. I'm excited to dive into this unique story.
And I'm Garrett, ready to explore this fascinating topic. Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
Today's topic is Courtney Stodden, from controversial marriage to advocacy and beyond.
I remember when the news of their marriage broke. I was in college, saw a headline, and just froze at the age difference. It was one of those moments where you realize public perception can make or break how a person enters the industry. Overnight, Courtney went from regional music hopeful to a global tabloid name, and that stuck with me as a lesson in how fame can arrive from the most unexpected angle and then shape every opportunity that follows.
Let's set the scene. Courtney Alexis Stodden is an American media personality, model, and singer. She uses she or they pronouns. You'll hear us use both. She first hit international headlines in 2011 after marrying actor Doug Hutchison at age 16. That event launched her into reality TV, pushed her music into the spotlight, and sustained years of coverage across tabloids and talk shows. Over time, her world grew to include film cameos, a self-titled reality series, and some meaningful advocacy work.
Big picture, you've got a career with a lot of lanes. Reality television appearances in both the US and the UK, a steady drip of pop singles over the 2010s and beyond, and a public pivot into causes she cares about, like animal rights and ending child marriage. Quick definitions as we go. Child marriage means at least one person is under 18, and it can be legal in some places with certain permissions. And PETA, the animal rights group, often uses bold stunts to create attention around animal welfare. You'll see Courtney thread those pieces together, where entertainment and activism reinforce each other.
Starting at the beginning, Courtney grew up in Ocean Shores, Washington, and was passionate about singing and writing, very young, very driven. In 2009, she hosted a small local cable access program called The Courtney Stodden Show, which ran 5 episodes and gave her early on-camera comfort. She entered pageants too, competing as Miss Ocean Shores Teen USA for the 2010 Miss Washington Teen USA cycle.
And the music shows up early. In 2010, she released originals like Car Candy, Crazy, Don't Put It On Me, Hurting People, and We Are America. Star Observer named Don't Put It On Me number 11 on its list of the 11 best songs of 11, which matters because it shows her music got attention beyond just the scandal. She'd also done some youth modeling, which fed into her comfort with the camera and the media environment.
Then we get to early 2011. At 16, she signed up for an online acting workshop taught by actor Doug Hutchison. There was an online courtship that followed. Sources vary on the exact length, roughly 4 to 6 months. When Doug learned she was a minor, he told her mother and said he would stop if the parents disapproved. Her parents allowed Courtney to decide, citing their Christian faith. That path led to the marriage in May 2011 in Las Vegas. She was 16, he was 50. The public reaction was immediate and intense.
Immediate. Doug's agent quit, his family disowned him, and he received death threats and extreme real-world fallout. A wild detail people latched onto was that Courtney's father was reportedly 4 years younger than his new son-in-law. You can see why it dominated headlines. The couple then did interviews on shows like Father Albert, ABC's Good Morning America, and E! News, trying to explain their story and deal with criticism.
With the spotlight on them, reality TV opportunities followed. In 2012, they went on VH1's Couples Therapy. The therapist on that show, Dr. Jen Berman, is a clinical professional who works with couples on camera. Dr. Berman said Doug was not a predator after working with them, but she still made it clear she was uncomfortable with a 16-year-old marrying a man in his 50s. That nuance matters. It's not a green light on the situation. It's her view from the therapeutic setting. And that series gave people a closer look at their dynamic.
On the publicity front, Courtney kept releasing music, like the single Reality in 2012. In 2013, she had breast augmentation from a C to a DD, which became part of her public image at the time. She also joined Celebrity Big Brother in the UK in 2013 and was evicted just before the finale after a long run. That season really boosted her profile overseas. Around that same period, she did a pita lettuce bikini stunt to promote vegetarianism, which got massive press. PETA's strategy is shock to start the conversation, and Courtney used the moment to talk about empathy for animals, which she has said is the main reason she's vegetarian.
Why go with such a bold stunt, though?
Because it cuts through the noise. In media terms, a provocative visual is like a siren. You look, then you might listen. For Courtney, that kept her cause top of mind while also sustaining her broader brand. She even tried a vegan diet, then decided vegetarianism was more sustainable for her lifestyle. Not a purity test, just a practical choice to reduce harm in a way she could maintain long-term.
We also saw relationship ups and downs. In late 2013, reports said she and Doug were ending the marriage after about 2.5 years, citing the 34-year age gap. They reconciled in 2014 and even planned to renew vows, which they did on their 5th anniversary in May 2016. Then came a deeply personal chapter, a pregnancy announcement in May 2016, and a heartbreaking miscarriage that July. That vulnerability played out publicly, which is so heavy for anyone to carry while the world watches.
On the business side, her mother, Krista Keller, initially managed her and later quit in 2015, citing creative differences. Courtney then signed with a Los Angeles company, Rich Kid Mafia, aiming to professionalize and broaden her entertainment strategy. She kept popping up on reality series and cameo roles, like a quick appearance in hip-hop artist 50 Cent's music video, Don't Worry About It, in 2014, which was a crossover into a different slice of pop culture. She also released more music, including an artist experiment under the name Ember in 2018, which let her explore different sounds and themes separate from the tabloid image.
By 2018, she filed for divorce and didn't request spousal support. That legal process wrapped in March 2020. Afterward, she spoke about feeling taken advantage of and groomed. Doug denied those allegations. Quick definition here. Grooming in the context of abuse means building trust with a minor in order to exploit them later. These are serious claims, and it's important to note the accounts differ, and there's no adjudicated finding included here. Still, those statements shape the public conversation about what happened.
Shifting to later career moves, in 2019, Courtney co-created and starred in a self-titled reality series with producer Rocco Leo Gagliotti on FNL Network, which ran 11 episodes and gave her more control over how she was portrayed. Then the pandemic era hit, and she leaned into direct-to-fan work like OnlyFans, a subscription platform creators use to monetize content. She also wrote, worked on cosmetics, and put out new music. In 2023, she stepped back from OnlyFans to focus more on animal rights and anti-child marriage advocacy. That's a notable pivot from pure entertainment to purpose-centered work.
Her identity journey was public as well. In April 2021, she came out as non-binary, meaning not fitting strictly into male or female categories, and started with they or them pronouns. In June 2022, she updated to she or they. Around that same time, she spoke about having her breast implants removed by March 2022 due to back pain. That's a big personal health decision and a shift in how she talked about body autonomy and wellness. She also shared that she's bisexual, and she identifies as Christian while supporting gay marriage, emphasizing love and non-judgment in her framing of faith.
Another difficult chapter. In 2021, she said Chrissy Teigen, a prominent media figure, had cyberbullied her back in 2011, including messages telling her to harm herself. Teigen apologized publicly, then posted a longer apology in June 2021. Courtney accepted, yet questioned the motivations, which reignited a broader conversation about the long tail of social media behavior and accountability years later. In 2026, sitcom actor Jason Alexander apologized for a 2012 Funny or Die sketch that sexualized Courtney when she was 17. He acknowledged it was inappropriate and expressed regret.
On the personal front, she got engaged to Chris Sheng in 2021, ended that engagement in 2023, and later married film director and producer Jared Safir in December 2024. So if we zoom out, you've got someone who entered the public eye through controversy, then steadily expanded their work and ultimately aimed a lot of that visibility toward causes like animal rights and changing child marriage laws.
This brings us to the big, uncomfortable question that has followed the story. Was Doug a predator, or was it something more complicated, as Dr. Jen Berman suggested, where she did not label him that after working with them, but still objected to a 16-year-old marrying a man in his 50s? And how do we consider Courtney's later claims of grooming and abuse, which Doug denies? Public opinion often jumps to labels, but the therapeutic view can introduce nuance that doesn't neatly fit headlines.
Real talk. I see power dynamics here that are hard to ignore. Even if someone says the minor has agency, the adult still has far more life experience and influence. That imbalance, to me, is what raises the grooming red flags, especially when the relationship started during an acting workshop context. I'm not saying every detail is black and white. I'm saying the age and authority gap makes informed consent complicated for a teenager. That's close to the heart of it for me.
I hear you. At the same time, the clinical perspective from Dr. Berman complicates the narrative. She didn't endorse the marriage, she just resisted that one label after observing them. It reminds me that media narratives can flatten everything into hero or villain. And Courtney herself has described feeling groomed later on, which is a crucial first-hand account. Doug rejects that. So we have competing stories, no formal legal resolution included here, and an audience trying to make sense of it. That's where it's fair to hold the tension without forcing a single, absolute conclusion.
So where does that leave us? For me, it underscores why advocacy against child marriage matters. If the law allows a teenager to marry with parental permission, that can create room for harm, even if everyone believes they're acting in good faith. The solution space, to me, is about clearer guardrails that protect minors from entering adult commitments before they can really weigh the long-term consequences.
And I'd add, the public conversation should also leave room for complexity. Recognize harm, push for better laws, but also remember real people are involved with histories, contradictions, and growth. Courtney redirected a lot of that energy into advocacy and animal rights. Whether you first learned her name from tabloids or a TV clip, the arc we see now is someone trying to shape the narrative toward change.
On the pop culture side, she really did become a recognizable face. Celebrity Big Brother in the UK made waves. Couples therapy put their relationship under a microscope. And that pita lettuce bikini image is one of those snapshots people remember years later. It's bold, but it worked as an awareness tool for vegetarianism.
And the 50 Cent cameo was a clear crossover. For a lot of reality figures, getting into a major artist's music video is like planting a flag in mainstream culture. It signals, hey, this isn't just a reality storyline, it's broader pop participation.
Let's try a what if that's been on my mind. What if Courtney's parents had said no to the relationship back in 2011 and the marriage never happened? I imagine a quieter industry entrance, more time to build regional music credibility, keep developing songwriting, and leverage that local cable show experience into a gradual climb instead of a media explosion.
I'm with you. Without that flashpoint, the first wave might have been music blogs, local radio, and incremental TV spots. Slower growth often means more control, fewer shock-driven bookings, more curated projects. Maybe she still lands reality TV, but the logline isn't centered on a scandal. It's a music-forward narrative. That could reduce the pressure cooker effect we saw.
And that path might influence advocacy too. Without the lived experience of child marriage, maybe her activism focuses even more heavily on animal rights or on anti-bullying, given what she's shared about being bullied from a young age. It's possible the anti-child marriage work would not be the focal point if she didn't personally go through it.
So the trade-off becomes visibility versus volatility. The marriage turbocharged her profile, which opened doors to global platforms, but it also brought intense scrutiny and pain. In the alternate timeline, we might see a steadier, less jagged arc, fewer headlines, but more space to define the art on her terms. That's a curveball history throws sometimes. The thing that launches, you can also weigh you down.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Keep exploring and stay curious. Until next time on Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.